We are on the air. Pops, what time is it?
It's Final Four weekend.
It's Final Four weekend. The Gators have made it. I do believe it, but I don't believe it, especially given what we've had to do to get there. It's been quite the run, quite a wild ride. I have enjoyed it. I have agonized through it. Whew, there's been ups and downs. I am Mike. That is Pops. This is the Big Dance Podcast. This is part 3, which I have done. Bring it home. We will go into that later on. It's pretty self-explanatory. However, there's more to it than just meets the eye. Pops, we're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about the Gators' path to the Final Four from round 1, even actually from Selection Sunday on to right now. We'll go over a little bit of about the games as we go on, and then definitely want to break down that Texas Tech game that we just witnessed. That was ridiculousness. And then we will give our predictions for the upcoming Final Four in San Antonio. Who we think is going to win it all? Who's cutting down the nets there? Who's bringing home the ultimate banner to their school? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Okay. So what are your initial thoughts, Pops, on the entire March Madness of 2025 as we enter Final Four weekend?
Well, I think one of the things everybody talks about on Selection Sunday is, okay, who's getting in? This team got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
This team is way overranked. Mm-hmm. All kinds of innuendos about their team is this and that. And I even made the comment that, here it is, Selection Sunday, and yet we're the 4th number 1, and yet we beat Auburn and all those other statistics that I brought up and everything else. But one thing is for sure, that they knew who the 4 best teams were. And the best 4 teams are all playing in the Final Four.
Yeah, to me, they got it right. When you see all 4 number 1 seeds, and the Gators were pretty much the only team that really had I guess Auburn had trouble against Michigan. They were down by 10 in the second half, but then just came storming back. Right. But other than that, like Duke has been rolling through people. Houston rolled through people. So, but yeah, it was pretty evident that the top 4 teams were definitely the top 4 teams. And then with the exception of maybe St. John's, all the 2 seeds were correct.
Right.
So the Elite 8 was 1 verse 2, 1 verse 2, 1 verse 2, and 1 verse 3. So going back to the Florida road, we were the number 1 seed in the West. I don't even think it matters really anymore totally where you are, just for the fact the first 2 rounds in the West region were in North Carolina for us.
Yeah. Right.
So now, granted, the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 were in San Francisco, so that makes sense, and they align at the end, but it's not like it used to be where all the games are in that region.
Right.
So we're the number 1 seed. I thought a lot of people said we were the region of death, that there were just so many good teams in our region, from Florida to St. John's to Maryland to Memphis. UConn's in there as an 8. Texas Tech. So, but to me, as it turns out, we were not the region of death. We started out with Norfolk State, Pops.
Yeah.
Norfolk State Spartans. I believe the Gators were at their best in this entire tournament to this point in the first 10 minutes of that game.
I agree 100%. Could have been maybe the first 17 minutes, because the last 3 minutes of the game, first half, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We lost a 10-point lead, or we gave up 10 points in the last three minutes.
Yeah, I think we were up by like 32 points within the first 12 minutes of that game. We ended up winning by 26. It was 95-69 over Norfolk State. But the second half was we played our starters most of that half. Yeah. And it was pretty much a back and forth game. I think we were up by 22 at halftime after being up by 32. So like you said, we kind of gave up 10 points there at the end of the first half. And then it was kind of back and forth the entire second half with Norfolk State, who they made the tournament. They've got some players, but it was concerning. But we ended up winning by 26. I think the spread was 28.5 or something. So it was good enough, and we took our foot off the brake. We probably had a bunch of guys trying not to get hurt and playing conservative. Fine. So then we move on to play UConn in the second round. Your thoughts on the UConn game?
Well, how they were a number 8 is beyond me, but that, it is what it is. I mean, you got to play them all anyway. Back-to-back national champions. First ones to do it since we did it. A coach that we both agree is an unbelievable game coach, but what a complete jerk this guy is. but a hell of a coach. Close game. The one thing about the Gators, and it's been persistent all year long, for some reason I was out for one of the games during the season, and I knew we were down and it wasn't looking good. And I get this phone call and this laughter, and yes, we beat him. I said, what are you talking about? We beat him. Martin hit a shot with no time remaining.
Was that the South Carolina game?
Yeah. And I said, we're just kind of a team of destiny right now. It's kind of like, even Jay Billis said, Florida has not played their best yet. He goes, the best team right now playing their best right now is Duke. There's no question about it. They're playing their best. He goes, but I'm still betting on Florida because they have the tenacity to come back. They have a loaded bench. They got the guards. They got the height. They got everything that you possibly need. He goes, and I heard him say yesterday, God help somebody, whoever they play. Obviously, they didn't know at the time that if they have put everything together and play a complete game, they're going to blow people out. They're just going to blow them out. And so, it's kind of interesting where we came to. But Connecticut gave us a game.
Yeah, we ended up winning that game 77-75 in the round of 32, second round. It was actually a 5-point game. Some guy hit a 3 at the end, buzzer, McNeely, and got a lot of FaceTime from his gorgeous mom. But, UConn looked the part of a title contender at times during the season. Yeah. But at times they were lost. They were kind of a mess in the locker room. Danny Hurley, I believe, at the end of the day, became a big distraction for that team with his sideline antics, his after-the-game antics, talking to fans, talking trash to the fans. He even had that episode after our game where, don't F us like they've F'd you. Hopefully they don't F you, Baylor. And then his SID threatened the guy that got that.
Well, it's actually being investigated by the Justice Department right now. So,
as it should be. But let's move on from that. It was a very tough, hard-fought win. But yes, throughout the season, even in one of our losses to Georgia, we were down by 26 points in the first half. And I refused to turn that game off because I had seen enough of the team throughout the season to know they're not giving up yet. Now, if we had gone down by 35 or something like that, I'm sure Golden would have, waved the white flag, taken out, this is just not our day. But he kept them out there, and we ended up taking the lead late in that game and couldn't hold on. But this team has fight, and not only that, Pops, this team has a closer, which we will get to in just a minute. We will get to in just a minute. So moving on to the Sweet 16, we got to the second round for the first time in, I think it was 8 years, 2017, I think was Cheese. But so we got to the second round. That was exciting. Getting to the Sweet 16 against number 4 Maryland team, which scared me a bit. They had a buzzer beater themselves with a highly touted freshman, Queen. Yeah. And a tight game, I should say. And in that first half, Pops, it was like a tie game where we were up by 2. We were up by 2 at half. But I remember in the first half, we had turned the ball over 13 times.
That's correct.
In the first half. And we were just so lackadaisical, so nonchalant. It looked like we were playing our second or third conference game and just didn't really have it. I'm like, this is the Sweet 16, guys. Yet, with against a Maryland team that has been playing very good ball, we were still winning the game. So there was part of me thinking, how are we even winning this game? We're not even playing well at all. And in the second half, we ended up winning by 16, 87-71. Do you remember a lot of that second half against Maryland?
Well, two things I remember about that second half is that we only turned the ball over 4 times.
In the second half,
And
okay.
the other thing, and the first play of the second half, we turned the ball over.
We did.
So I was thinking, first thing you said is, for God's sake, they're turning it over again. Anyway,
Yeah.
They only turned it over 4 times. The two things that I remember about that game more than anything else is, for whatever reason, it was about, I want to say, a 9 or a 10-point lead.
Yes.
With about 220 left in the game. It could have been a $1.50, something like that.
Yes.
He took them all out, Maryland. He said,
Yeah.
I give up. I've never seen a coach take all of his players out.
That early.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking Hurley was playing every second. He was fouling somebody or doing every second. This guy, but it reminded me of what happened today, that why I think he did what he did is he knew this was his last game at Maryland, and he knew he was moving on. And so maybe he just thought, I'm not putting the effort into this. I'm just, this is my thought.
Yeah.
And he decided that, we're not going to beat him. I think
it was very surprising. I think the tail of the tape of that game was rebounding. We just absolutely annihilated them on the boards.
Yes.
Jay Billis was the color guy in that game, and he said so as much 30 times during the game. Like, if you can't rebound, you're not going to beat this team. And we just killed them on the boards. We ended up winning that game by 16 points. I still said we didn't play that good. We definitely played bad in the first half.
Well, part of it was he kept on saying we got 4 bigs, and then Condon got hurt, and you kind of thinking, okay, where are we at now? But as it turns out, everything, is fine. Everything's going on. And then we find out today, just a little tidbit, is that Buzz decided that, Texas A&M wasn't the move for him, so he accepted the Maryland job this afternoon. So Buzz Williams is out of the SEC. Yeah. A little too tough for him, I think. A little too tough, the SEC.
But Buzz Williams is he's strange to me. He's had some big-time jobs. And
take your 3-piece suit and get the hell out of here. Go to the Big Ten.
He floats around big-time jobs, and he's there for 2 years, and he gets another big-time job. He went from Marquette to Virginia Tech to Texas A&M to Maryland. Those are all substantial programs.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so we won that game, and I don't think we played that well. And then we go to the Elite Eight. Now, this is to get to the Final Four is a banner, and I'm always chasing banners.
Yeah.
And we're playing Texas Tech number 3. I actually wanted to play. Was it?
You wanted St. John's.
I think I wanted St. John's because. But they didn't even play St. John's to get there. Anyway, so Texas Tech, they played Arkansas. I did not want to play Arkansas because Arkansas looked like they were playing really, really good. They had a lot of size, a lot more size than Texas Tech. They scared me more than Texas Tech. So now I'm remembering that I did want Texas Tech over Arkansas. And we ended up winning that game 84-79, but it wasn't – we were down by 10 with under 3 minutes to go. And you want to talk about a closer – one closer was Mr. Hawk, who hit 2 enormous three-pointers. We were down by 9, and we were down by 6. And he stepped up and hit 2 threes. In that comeback, that furious comeback, Clayton had 3 threes and 2 free throws.
No, here's what it was. I copied it just because I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Hawk hit 2 threes in a row, and then Clayton hit 2 threes in a row.
Yeah.
Martin made 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Clayton hit 2 free throws. And Richard hit 2 free throws.
Well, yeah.
So that was the 18-4 run at the end.
And before Hawk hit his first,
Clayton
hit one that kind of
the ball was bouncing around.
Bouncing all around. So that was before that. But it was just, you want to talk about a closer, and I've been all over him all year. He's so good. What is our record now? 34-4?
34-4. And let me just dissect for a second here this game. This is going to be very interesting because all of our Gator fans know these numbers. Texas Tech shot 43%. We shot 44%. They shot 37% in threes. We shot 37% in threes.
Okay.
They had 35 rebounds. We had 42. They had 13 offensive rebounds. We had 11. They had 7 turnovers. We had 9. They had 18 fouls. We had 16 fouls. The difference, of course, was they were 7 for 13 for 53% in free throws. And unbelievably, we were 25 for 27 for 93%.
25 or 27. Pops, we've been due for that kind of performance at the free throw line in a big game for roughly, let's see, when was 2007? So I'm going to go 18 years. We've been due for that. Just incredible. And Martin going to the line when we were only up 1 with like 20 seconds to go, hitting 2 free throws to go up 3. That was huge. Oh, it was so good. And I ain't given up. I hate giving up.
Do you know the 2 free throws we missed? Who missed them?
Probably Clayton, I think.
He missed 1. You're right. He missed his first shot after starting the second half when he was fouled on a 3-point shot.
Yes.
You know what the other one was? Because they made fun of him.
Oh, it was Handlon. It was the worst free throw. I think he might have broken the backboard. That
was
thing.
horrible.
Oh my God! And then Jay Billis said something like, "Well, that shows why he's 2 for 8 on the season." But
so our big 3: Clayton had 30 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Hulk had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and Martin had 10 points, 7 rebounds.
Hawk has played himself into the first round, I think, first round discussion.
Well, we'll see.
He can do it all. But just to kind of put a wrap on things going into the Final Four, so our team averages for the tournament to this point. You got Clayton, 22 points per game, three rebounds, 3 assists, 45% 3-point, 88.6% free throw percentage.
Ridiculous.
That's solid.
Ridiculous.
Hawk has been averaging 13.3, 7.5, and 3 assists. Condon, 7.5, 5.8, 2.5. Martin, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Richard, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists a game. It has been, like all season long, a team effort with the caveat that we know who our closer is. And he's taken some incredible shots that most players would not take. And he has not only taken them, he has made them in the biggest of moments.
Well, I thought it was interesting that the interview afterwards and a couple people that were doing interviews said, there's been some comparisons to you and Steph Curry. And he goes, no. But people see they have the same kind of demeanor and they make incredible shots. And he was smart to say, I'm not even close, to being that he's a one of a one, So, but people see, when you made that comment last week, man, there's other people that are seeing that same kind of thing too with him.
No doubt about it. And he's deflected that more than once or twice that I've seen in different interviews. And good for him for having the, because his ego's got to be huge right now with everybody telling him how great he is. But they look somewhat similar. They drain 3-pointers from deep, whether they're covered or not. They are point guards by turn, but they're not really point guards. They do have great passes at times, but they're also lazy with the ball at times.
Right.
It looks like neither one of them is trying very hard, but they probably are trying very hard. They're just so smooth. There is a ton of comparisons between them. I am not saying he's the next Steph Curry.
No.
But he is incredible. Pops, it is trivia time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Cue the trivia music, future Mike. All right. Do you hear it, Pops? Do you hear it yet? You don't. You don't. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. It'll be done in post. Okay, trivia time. Pops, all 4 number 1 seeds have made the Final Four.
Yeah.
It has happened before. When was the last time it happened? What year? Give me the year. What year was the last time all 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four?
2008.
You are correct, sir. You were just joking. You knew it, didn't you? You were just bullshitting there. Do you know where that was? Final Four was held. This one you don't know, do you?
Was it in Atlanta?
You are incorrect, sir. It was in San Antonio, believe it or not.
Oh.
So the last time that All 4 number 1 seeds were in the Final Fours in San Antonio. But it wasn't the last time that San Antonio held the Final Four. This is the 5th time that San Antonio has held the Final Four. 1998, 2004, 2008, we just spoke about, 2018, and now 2025. So in 98, it was Kentucky the winner. 2004 was UConn. 2008 was Kansas. 2018 was Villanova. We'll see what happens in 2025. Your thoughts on the UF Auburn game? UF is favored by 2.5 points as of today is Tuesday, and the over-under is 160.5. Your thoughts?
Well, I just did a little statistics, kind of looking at the two teams. In the last 16 games, okay, Auburn is 12-4. They lost to Florida, they lost to Texas A&M, they lost to Bama, and they lost to Tennessee. We're 15-1.
Ooh.
We lost to Georgia. Had we not lost that game, we were at 24 straight victories. Okay, had we not lost the Georgia game.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we've been on a roll, even though, I never worry about us, and all these idiots on the TV and all that. Oh, the Gators are in trouble. And then you look at the halftime score, we're winning. And that statistic, how many games in a row we won when we're leading at halftime?
That's 28 in a row, 28 in a row now.
Yeah.
They almost jinxed us. They tried.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, listen, we're a second half team for whatever reason. We're a second half team. We've been all year long. We just annihilate them in the second half. I think we wear a lot of people down because of our bench is very deep, very deep. So it is what it is. But I just want to go over
go ahead.
The stats for the only time we played Auburn.
Yes.
We played them on February 8th.
Yes.
So not too long ago. We beat them 90-81. All right.
You are correct, sir.
So here's what we had. We had Clayton with 19-6-9, Condon 17-10-4, Hawk 16-9-3, Richard 12-5-1, and Aberdeen 10-3-2. Something's missing. Yeah, we didn't have Martin.
Right.
Martin was out that game. Okay. So in that game, Kelly, their guy, Auburn, 22-3-1, Brome 18-11-6, Pettifor,
yeah.
14-2-3, and Johnson 13-1-1.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is their two big scores at the end, 14 and 13, were off the bench, where we had Houck off the bench with 16. Our starters do most of the work, except in the tournament right now, it's been kind of the reverse, where our reserves are coming in and really lighting it up right now. Aberdeen's had some really good games in the tournament so far. Hawk, I mean, he's been incredible. I'm kind of looking. I kind of like the way that Condon played at the end of the game. It reminded me of Condon through the years. So maybe it was, trying to get all of this stuff going and everything else. This is new to us. Going to the Final Four. As far as statistics go in that game, we were 15 out of 18 for 83% of free throws. They were 14 out of 23. We were 13 out of 33 in threes, and they were 7 out of 22. So pretty similar to where
we were up by double digits in their house. They were the number 1 team in the nation. Double digits in their house without one of our starters for the entire second half.
Yeah.
That 9 point wasn't like free throws at the end that put us up to 9. It was not even it wasn't even a 2-possession game for most of the second half.
No.
Minus one of our starters. And that was the second number 1 team in the country we had beaten, and beaten handily, I might add, which is very hard to do no matter who you are. So the line is minus 2.5 for the game.
Yeah.
The over-under is 160.5. You put those numbers together, Vegas is saying that Florida will probably win this game 81-79 or thereabouts. Auburn is probably the deepest team and the most talented team. Well, definitely in the tournament we're going to play. And probably this season we will play. And Broom's got some injury issues. I think he's fine. He came back and played.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay.
They're a good, definitely 7 to 8 solid players. So it is going to be a challenge. However, we have not played a very good game since the SEC tournament final.
Against
Tennessee. We blew them out. We were hitting everything. We were hustling our ass off.
Yeah.
We didn't turn the ball over. Can we repeat that on the biggest of stages in San Antonio?
Yes. I think the next 2 games that you're going to see it, and you notice I said 2 games. The next 2 games, I think we're going to show the country who we are.
All right.
I really do. I think I've said all year long, you and I talk at halftime, and I say, just relax. We're fine. We'll be okay.
Kind of like my buddy Let in the Gator group on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I just said, just calm down. We'll be fine. It's in the cards right now, okay? It's in the cards. It's our turn.
It's interesting. So you are predicting a Gators victory. Do you have a score?
I got a score of 91 Gators, 82 Auburn.
91 to 82. Pops goes with the Gators. So my initial thought yesterday when I was kind of putting all this together was I thought when I was thinking in depth about what I was witnessing that nobody's beating Duke. Side note, Houston plays Duke. The over-under for that game is 136.5. Duke is favored by 5 points, so it's supposed to be Duke 71, Houston 66. I like the over for that game. There's going to be more points than that. Houston is not going to dominate them defensively like they did against Tennessee.
I have Duke 93, Houston 80.
Okay. So, yeah, I predict something like that. I said 90 to 85 Duke or something like that. But I don't think anybody's beating Duke. I was pretty convinced that Auburn was going to beat us when I saw what Broom did, and just their team looks pretty damn good right now. But the more I think about it, we just haven't played a great game yet. Maybe we're saving our best game for the last 2. I'm going with the Gators over Auburn. It's going to be 88 to 77. Gators by 11. Richard is going to have a big game, Pops. I think Clayton might have anywhere from 14 to 16 points, but I am looking at Mr. Will Richard coming out of the shadows yet again to be his dominant self and putting up 20 points because they're going to be keying on Hawk and they're going to be keying on Clayton, and you leave Richard alone, and he is going to bury you, Will Richard.
I even have the points for every Gator player if you want to hear them.
Okay, go ahead.
Hawk's going to have 18, Clayton 22, Richard 14, Martin 12, Condon 8, Chinlu 11, and Aberdeen 6.
Did you just roll dice, or what did you do here?
No, I looked at the last time we played them and kind of divided up the points for that Martin would get since he wasn't there. I think Condon will have 12 rebounds.
All right, and you're predicting a Duke Florida final.
I am exactly right.
And you have Florida winning it all.
I have the Gators winning 87-84.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to go with you. I will not say that Duke's going to – Duke looks unstoppable, but we still have not played our best game. I'm going to go 82 to 81 Gators at the buzzer. Walter Clayton, 82-81 Gators at the buzzer over Duke. We are going to be the national champions. We're going to bridge the gap between 2007 and 2025, the Golden Gate Bridge, if you will, with Mr. Golden. We win the title. I would like him to stay forever. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a crazy weekend.
We're in the golden age right now.
We are in the golden age. And I will say
Let
this.
me give you a little stat here.
All right,
Let me give you a little stat here. Our man Martin is the first player in 45 years to make 2 Final Fours in his career with 2 different teams. The last time it was done was 1977 and 1980 by a guy, a center by the name of Steve Karafison.
Okay.
He played at North Carolina, and then he played at Iowa. Okay?
Nice.
So, but he's the first player to ever go back to back.
Oh.
Okay? Back to back, yes, in one season. Except Saturday night, Duke's Mason Gillis did exactly the same thing. He played 4 years at Purdue and transferred this year to Duke. So he is the second player.
Yeah, but I don't think it was back-to-back. I don't think FAU went to the Final Four last year.
Last year, yes, sir.
FAU went in 2024.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will look that up. You may or may not be right. We will see. That will be my final lookup for the end of this. I have been pissed at the world today, Pops. I do not have as much positive energy as I sometimes do on this show. I'm going to get over it. I'm going to get through it. It's a tough hill. Life is sometimes a tough hill, Pops. You just got to keep climbing, I guess, is the answer there. You got to keep climbing, keep overcoming obstacles, keep overcoming challenges. We all have them on a daily basis, yes or no?
Absolutely.
And regardless of whether if the Gators lose to Auburn, we will have a episode 4 next week.
Oh, good.
We will have an episode 4 to wrap up the season. But if we lose to Auburn, it's going to be 15 minutes, that show.
We're not losing.
Okay. If we beat Auburn and lose to whoever in the final, the show will be 20 minutes. If we beat Auburn and then win in the final, we win the national title, then the show will be another half an hour, and there will be all sorts of fun stuff going on. And I hope that's the show we have, Bob.
I'm looking to see. I think you are correct. It wasn't in 24.
Oh yeah.
No, I was wrong.
We will end on that. Me being correct. Mike.
You were correct.
Mike being correct. Pops was incorrect there. This was the Big Dance Podcast. I call it a podcast. I don't care if you guys think it's a YouTube vlog. I don't care if you think it's a video diary. I call it a podcast because it sounds better, the Big Dance Podcast, as opposed to the Big Dance video diary. So screw all of you. Let's go, Gator. Come on, Gators.
Get up and go.
Go, Gators. Until next time.